Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2, our weird little empire here. Boy, we're not making progress toward this supremacy victory very quickly, are we? And we got a long road ahead. I need faster ships. Let's wrap up the Horatio thing, and then before we formally engage on Red, we're gonna do a little bit of ship redesign. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm doing this slowly enough that I'm kind of thinking that supremacy victory is maybe a silly way to go about it, because we're probably going to be able to transition into a different victory type. I'm thinking, like, we have a lot of tech already. It probably wouldn't be that hard to just go science from here, or honestly, even the Wonder Victory will probably end up being faster than the Supremacy Victory. We do not have good resource income for the Wonder Victory, though. So my plan is going to be, we're going to keep working toward wiping out, what's-his-face over here. Supremacy is maybe not a good victory type when you end up with this galaxy. But we're going to keep working toward it. We'll figure stuff out. We'll take whatever victory presents itself to us most obviously, but for now, we're continuing to walk in the direction of supremacy. What was I doing, man? I don't remember. This thing is still going well, I assume? Yeah, our colony will appear before theirs does. We have a lot of ships. Horatio's on the back foot, almost certainly soon to be eliminated. Yeah, everything's cool. We're good. Oh, I have singularity problems to worry about. Well, we're still developing Galter. We're building the new singularity on Novarus. You know, honestly, I've been feeling very nostalgic about Endless Legend lately. We might have to go back and revisit. Endless Legend is sort of like, I am living in the house that Endless Legend built here on YouTube. And, I burned out on it real bad. I kept playing it for much longer than I should have, because I was afraid to transition out, because it was the thing that was bringing in viewers. And I'm glad I did transition out. It's good to be diversified. And honestly, I play a lot of different kinds of games. And it's a good idea, I think, to have the output of the channel represent that. Are you not selected? You're not actually selected. Get over here. It's going to take only 6 turns. 8. That's an 8? That's an 8. It's like 6 turns. Well, there's a 5 down here. That doesn't seem... okay. Yeah, see, our ships could be fast. We just have to put more engines and fewer everything else's on them. what was I saying? I was saying something. I don't know. It probably wasn't important. It was about Endless Legend. My point is, trying to make YouTube into an actual business is like a pretty strange... It's a weird road the whole way out, the whole way down. Alright, so I have a lot of ships. Let's see. You guys are probably just playing defense, so I guess actually Novarus is probably where I want you. They just arrived at Galter. I don't know where they were coming from, because it's been like 2 days since I recorded. Real talk, it is Friday morning. I'm recording this. It's going to be uploaded immediately, because I got kind of behind on things. So it's been about 2 days since I last recorded, and I don't very clearly remember what was going on. In theory, Horatio ships could show up anywhere over here. He has to free move off of Yetix anyway, so there's no preferential routing through star lanes, but also I'm just not that worried about him anymore. I think his economic base and manufacturing base have both been pretty much shattered. So we're going to end up with this weird... Yeah, that's a fair point. I think... Let's just try to help Novarus get back on its feet. We're going to end up with this weird... like intermingled empire thing where we have some Lumeris planets and some orange planets and some other Sofun planets. And I mean, our empire's in a weird place anyway. Right, our population is actually mostly Epistis at this point. I think we're going to unlock a new law. Somebody in the comments of one of the videos, and I apologize for having forgotten your name. Let's put you on defense here. Somebody told me that it is not worth getting the Epistis 250 population. You got some Horatio warships over here. Hold on a second. Okay, Harmony have been assimilated, that's fine. We discovered a remnant system way over here. Well, let's throw some influence at him, because we don't really have a lot else to do with our influence. Okay, the truce has gone back to Cold War. Horatio would love it if we would truce out with him. We're not going to, obviously. Events are ending and rocking even more hero ships. There's no getting away from him. Horatio are rapidly starving on Novarus, mostly due to the fact that they're angry and they refuse to farm because of all the anger. Alright, so they have 950 defense. We just need to wait for the big ship to show up, and then we're going to take Yetics down, obviously. This ship is almost at that system, and I believe these are the last 2 Horatio systems. Yeah, we're good. Working through this kind of crummy middle tier with this hero. So yeah, I don't know. We might go back to Endless Legend for a little while. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. It's been long enough since I played it that I don't remember how to be good at it. Let's see. Is there a place where... Yeah, Novarus probably makes sense as a place to do some some system development. The approval from the Transvine would be very welcome. Yeah, I don't really remember it that well. Like, I remember the basic thrust of it. But if we go back there, it's definitely going to be a learning experience. I don't know. I try to usually focus on the game. I don't talk about myself and other things that are going on in my life that much while doing videos, which I think is it's a little unusual. I watch a lot of Let's Plays. Obviously, I think the form has validity, and most of the people I watch talk about their lives and stuff a lot more than I do. To a certain extent, it's not even really a stylistic choice for me. It's just like I'm letting out the things that are in my head, and the things that are in my head are about the video game I'm playing right now. Okay, Athero. But as you can tell, I'm feeling a little... I'm feeling, like, pretty good right now. I have a good, positive feeling about life and the world right now, and I want to share that a little bit, because it's unusual. Okay, we've been warred. Is this...
Your actions threaten the...
He declared on us, it looks like. It's hard to tell when you're in an alliance. Things like this will just happen, and this could have been him declaring on the Sophons, or the Lumeris declaring on him, or, whatever. I was really kind of hoping for a little cooldown period between the Horatio War and the Craver War, but it looks like we're just rolling right into it. Yeah, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a little bit, manic is maybe too strong a word, but certainly in that direction. So we have 2 planets colonized on Athero, because we turned their outpost into a colony, in addition to our outpost turning into a colony. So, Xeno-Industrial Infrastructure is already 20 industry. Yeah, we'll just queue that up next. You know what I need after evaporation inhibitors, actually, is, multi-thread management. We have all this dust, and I can't use it to rush things. Our income's actually getting, like, really solid. We are not accepting a truce. Nope, Caspar accepted a truce. Dude, you're killing me. Alright, well, we're gonna re-war, obviously. It's expensive, but we're doing it. It keeps getting more expensive. But I'm not done yet. Boy, is this a thing that I am not even, like... The galaxy's a big place, and my suspicion is that we are not going to be well-suited to fighting these. Okay, well, some of them are nearby. Unfortunately, we can't really afford to attack the pirates here, because we gotta fight Horatio. That's alright, the pirates will be here long after Horatio is gone. Alright, we're just 1 more skill point away from moving up the next tier, which has some pretty good stuff in it. Pretty good fleet-wide bonuses. Yeah, just 40% damage over 2 points, pretty great. And then, obviously, eventually, Battlefield Grandmaster is amazing, but it's gonna take a moment for us to get there. This kind of fighting will help. So there's a medium ship and 2 smalls here. Oh, this is really bad for them. Alright, I assume they retreat. Actually, they have nowhere to go, do they? Really, they're allowed to retreat to Vega. But Vega is a system that's owned by a player who's at war with them. I guess the influence circle actually determines what retreats are safe. That is counter to what my assumption would have been. So I have 218 tanks worth of manpower. Oh, they're in a bad place here. They do have 8 points of population, though. Maybe it's possible I'm a little overly concerned about conscription. We are potentially going to need manpower right away, though, because we are going to have to deal with these guys. Oh, this is actually maybe really bad. There's a fleet waiting for our poor Null Wardens here. Well, they may get murdered. It's possible that we're allowed to retreat up this... No, that's a Craver system. And that's not actually neutral. You can see the name tag is red. It's within their influence. So yeah, if we get attacked here, we do not get to retreat. We will be destroyed. I'm just going to go ahead and create myself another Geist. I think we're going to need one. And we're going to try to free run all the way to Lekim. I don't know why the Lumeris haven't expanded to it, but if they're not going to, you know, we'll just help ourselves. It's also worth noting that our alliance may break up. The other players in it may turn on us. Could happen at any moment. Okay, well, that's not nearly as good as the plating module that we unlocked last time, although it is a lot cheaper in terms of valuable resources. So I am a little worried about that, especially with us all expanding into each other's space all the time. I'm a little worried that we could get backstabbed here. And the thing is, if we end up pursuing any non-supremacy victory condition, what's actually going to happen probably is that we are going to we're going to want to bail on our alliance, so sort of backstab them and win without them. I'm sorry, aren't we at war? You can't just be over here. Get out of here. I don't know why they thought this was okay. Get scat. Vamoose. Yeah, weird. Well, those count as victories, forcing the enemy to retreat, which means they produce war pressure, which means hopefully he will respect us and maybe fear us and maybe back down. It's like I really don't have time to be running ships out all over the place to fight him. Alright, so we need the basics. We also do just need Riftborn. Like, there's a lot of places where we could still use a lot of Riftborn. So we're going to siege here just for a little while. Try to avoid spending too much manpower. Although, actually, you know what? That's not a concern anymore. We're actually extremely good on manpower now. Enough so even that we could probably... in fact, we could certainly cut the manpower generation from the capital. We are more than comfortable. So let's go ahead and launch. Obviously, we'll be able to blitz pretty hard here with our massively superior troop reserves. It's going to take a couple of rounds of combat, but we'll get there. Right, this has ended. We discovered the planet Vale way out here in our explorations.
Whatever you're planning, you don't want to hurt us harmless sophons.
Okay, he's having trouble with the Cravers. That's fine, we'll get there. We're coming, man. Just gotta wrap up this other thing we're doing. You know... I do wish when you zoomed out of a system that it would zoom up where the system is rather than where your camera used to be. Although I'm sure there's lots of use cases where that behavior would be annoying. Yeah, this would be a pretty good place for a trade company subsidiary. The routes from our headquarters will be fairly long here, run through our entire empire. Empire is maybe a grand word for what we have, especially if you compare it to some of the other players. You know what? Make me a great big Spectre. Let's be ready for, I don't know, 600 Craver vessels, I'm assuming. Something in that neighborhood is what's coming. Let's... We have room for 5 more command points here. I mean... Alright, let's have at him. Yep, so that's going to take a couple of turns as well, but I believe Horatio is on the way out here. Now, we can stick around, wait until we have the last thing probed here. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. I was a little worried we're having that space pocket issue again. You know, if we discovered an extra-dimensional space just kind of hanging out near one of our systems, that would actually be pretty useful. I could think of a lot of applications for such a thing. Apparently Wasat has something unexplored. So we discovered adamantium, still no sources of antimatter. It's pretty annoying, actually. Okay, so we have the ability to rush constructions now. So let me think here. If we're thinking about potentially calling an audible, in case we wanted to call an audible, what do we need? Well, we need some more science, because we actually can't even discover, I believe. We can't discover the top-tier strategic resources by ourselves. Let's pick up ultra-deep habitats. That'll also give us access to the Dark Matter Institute, which is... It's a fair amount of science in a good system. Our science output is considerably lower than it has been for the last couple of games. You know, due to... I am not managing our empire nearly as tightly here. A little too focused on outside threats. We have discovered some new anomalies. Like I said, I think we can probably cut fabricated forces for a little while. Do a little bit of catch-up here in the home system. There are some things that we have discovered but not yet built, because we've just been making manpower for such a long time. So, I'm hoping that this will turn out to be strategic resources. Fingers crossed. Let's see. What else do we got going? Alright, everybody has orders for the moment. I'm really worried about the Cravers. Part of the problem with the Cravers is that there's just too much border space with them. They're set up along our border in a way that's kind of worrying. So they actually did let my settler through, which means we don't really need this settler that we built over here. Gotta figure out what I intend to do with it. The incandescence system down here is actually part of the Sophon faction quest. I don't think we can take it from them. We haven't discovered any other, like, weird offshoot systems. I guess I could come up here and try to settle that. That doesn't seem awesome. Maybe this thing's just gonna sit and wait for an opportunity to arise, I guess. Or for backup in case that other Geist does get killed. Alright, so we've developed the ability to calm down these mixed anomalies to remove the penalty from them. That's a thing we should probably do in many of our systems. I think we have a couple of mixed anomalies to worry about. Ooh, advanced monohull plating. That's a little better. Sadly, no resources. Alright, what else do I need from you? Alright, no big surprise there. The minor factions are going to get gobbled up. It's just going to happen. I just keep blitzing them with our superior manpower. Yeah, it's taken a while. I think this next run might be the one. Oh, I actually don't have a probe. Never mind. Ah, man, we made it all the way to a friendly system and then got hit. And I think we have nowhere to retreat to, right? Yeah, alright, well. could you please just... What if I told you to go here entirely through free space? That's not that much longer. Alright, it'll take a while, but we'll get there. So this system is pretty underdeveloped. I mean, honestly, this system is not valuable. It's a place where we can breed a couple points of remnant population, and it's just a thing we have to hold on the way to the systems we actually care about. Let's merge you all up. See, I don't particularly value our Horatio population, so we'll try to fill this system with Riftborn. I don't have enough of a problem with the Horatio population that I'm gonna like try to kick them out into space or anything, but I don't feel like there's a good reason for us to leave a breeding ground for them. So is this Horatio? This is the front of this ship, I think. I think these guys are headed toward Galter. Let's be there to intercept. And also there's pirates. Only 3 of the pirate fleets have been destroyed, really. You know, a surprising number of them are close to us. 3 of the 8, right? Because we killed 1 already. Yeah, alright, we'll go pirate hunting. We can maybe actually come out on top on this quest. It would be cool to get a new fighter and bomber design. Since we're already sort of committed to that strategy, what with us having the large ships and everything. Committed is maybe the wrong word, but we are capable of utilizing that strategy. We've discovered some Antonov rings and another point of remnant population, which I suspect is not going to get home. Oh good, militarist political ideology. Just what we needed. Never have enough of that. So yeah, I was talking about a lot of not the game stuff earlier in the episode, a couple minutes ago. And I didn't really conclude all that, but I wasn't going anywhere with it, so... Right, is this enough? Are we good here? It's going to take quite a while to resolve. Right, you guys are going to come and help. Okay, we did clear Pixis. We get the other one as well? We did. The Horatio ships have shown up to defend their system after just a little bit too late.
And do not mistake silence for...
They have declared war on us. Okay, well, that is extremely not my problem. Like, right, we discovered some Calgaros who apparently were already living on our system, just we hadn't noticed. Oh, you know what? I think that pirate fleet, the quest pirate fleet, may have gotten eaten by the Sofun ships here. That's a little bit of a shame. All right, this is sort of their extinction burst over here on Yedix. I don't imagine this is going to be much of a problem for us. We're going to watch it though. All right, they're throwing everything they have into one flotilla. This is a bad strategy. So you get a damage bonus for each flotilla that you have in excess of your opponents. It is not a good idea to hyper focus like this. I mean, they're going to wipe out our middle flotilla almost certainly, but the bombers and stuff are going to be a real problem for them. Well, I mean, I guess probably what they're thinking is no matter the outcome of this battle, they definitely lose. So maybe they're just they're pursuing the strategy that causes the largest amount of damage to me for spite purposes. I get that. I go to that place sometimes. Get in here and try to watch the bombers do their thing. I actually want to see the damage from the volley. You know, it's significant. It's not, Oh, no, there it is. Never mind. I was going to say it's not quite the blowout I was looking for, but no, it totally is. They just hadn't actually started firing yet. Alright, well... Goodbye, Horatio. I'd like to say that you were a noble opponent, but you weren't, and also screw you. Alright. He's got a couple of ships left over. Yeah, just a handful of vessels running around. We'll leave this fleet here. It looks like... Oh no, these guys are actually leaving. These guys are headed toward Ursa. Okay, so what do we got? 5 Horatio here. Well, they haven't even inhabited the lovely hot sterile planet. That's probably not worth spending on. Where we want to spend, where we want to be able to spend is particularly like... What happened here? Can I not, This construction is no longer valid, it says. But these slots should be available, right? Like, these ones are locked by our low system development, but these ones are not showing the lock. That's weird. Also, these guys don't really want to be in this system, but also it kind of doesn't matter. Because, like, any system that we could move them to that has fertile worlds is approval capped anyway, so our people are pretty happy. Alright, well, we'll fix this, let's fix this issue. I'm getting distracted here. Yeah, apparently that's not valid. I don't know. You tell me. Here we got some buildings we can build here. Nothing of terrible import, but production on Novarus is high enough that we can just rush all that stuff out, and then it can be the new sort of forward staging ground. And we're kind of running out of stuff to build in a lot of places. We don't really need to just be pumping out tons and tons of warships, but I guess we could be. Oof, this is not a very good system. Let's build some basic approval stuff here. I'm not going to bother rushing it. This is another system that basically we're holding so that nobody else will take it. It means I'm not super worried about its output. So Novarus, as a new front staging ground, will help to alleviate our slow ship issue a little bit. Oh hey, look at that. Apparently we totally can discover the higher level strategics. It's just that we didn't really have any. Well, that's good to have found some at least. Alright, so we're all kept out on Polaris. Let's head... Do we know where Pink's capital is? We don't. Pink's territory is not safe anymore, though. Although... we have friendly fleets running interference for us. We might be okay. And boy, you, I don't even know what to do with you. You know, it's possible, given the very unfocused nature of our plan here, it's possible that our allies will sort of drag us kicking and screaming to a victory condition. It's possible they may win the game around us. Just carry us with them. That would be cool. I feel like I usually do most of the work in the Alliance. A lot of the lifting is on my shoulders. The AI could kick in. They could help. Yeah. People are starving on the new systems, because that's what happens when you take over a new system.
In the opinion of the Church, your actions are those of...
Who is she having trouble with? She's at war with the Yui. Boy, that's like... that is something I just do not want to be engaged in. Truce. I mean, no? I don't know why she came to me. I'm not even part of that war. I mean, that's probably why, right? It would be cool if the AI could totally conquer her and take her capital while I'm over here doing stuff, you know? The supremacy victory should be doable if the AI wants to pull their weight, once again. Alright, so I'm going to wait here. Okay, this will be interpreted as guarding, not as blockading. Good. Yeah, I'm going to wait here and try to catch this pirate fleet. We can try to run this quest out. Horatio vessels are... Oh no! Well, at least we can retreat here. Our scout will be okay. We're still waiting to intercept those guys. You know, we don't have honeycomb scopes anywhere, but they're not useless. In particular, sometimes systems that are not actually on the constellation, those like loose nodes that are hanging out nearby, sometimes you can pick those up with a honeycomb scope. That aside, I don't really know what else to do with these systems. What we need is to pick up some better industry into other stuff conversions, because we have industry. And we could just continue building ships until we have 10,000 ships. And I mean, maybe that's a good idea given the size of the empire we're about to have to conquer. But before I go building any other ships, we gotta fix our designs up. So we, let's just, hold on. Take it down to the screws here. Let's figure this out. We've added some new slots. In particular, that tech that gave us the extra slots has added a heavy mount to our medium ships, which is a big deal. Let's figure out our support slots. So we only have one support slot. It has to be the engine. These things are great, but we can't mass produce them. This screen should really have your rate of resource income on it. Hold on. Before I go redesigning anything, actually, can we currently see any warships? We can. Alright, let's get an idea of what their tech looks like. Alright, so it looks to me that they're very torpedo dependent, which is great. That's something we can definitely mess with. The easiest to counter of all of the weapon types. Also, man, we really need better engines. Yeah, so we have access to a very, very good tier of bullet weaponry. My concern is that, yeah, we're already at 10 adamantium per ship. Turret interference missile. That's interesting. So these bring down the enemy weapons for 10 seconds if they hit. Boy, that seems really powerful. Oh yeah, that's right. We were going to try a boarding pod thing, weren't we? Well, you know, we can mix these two strategies together. So we can try to take over Craver ships. I'm debating now whether I want to make this an upgrade to the current Spirit design or whether I want to make a secondary design that is boarding pods. Because running some bullet weapons alongside our boarding pods will help us to keep our ships from getting blown up by missiles. Sometimes we're going to get, like... the unfortunate thing here, right, is that boarding pods don't do any actual HP damage, and the bullets don't do any actual crew damage. Oh no, they do some. Yeah, crew killed per hit too. Okay, so these are sort of working toward the same end a little bit. We just need enough flak. Enough flak that we don't get murdered. And then I'm gonna go. Should I split plating and shielding? I do like to have shielding. I'd love to run these. Oof. 10 antimatter per ship, huh? That's pretty harsh, especially since it takes antimatter just to make larges. For right now, let's just double up on this, I guess. Also gives us some crew defense, which is useful. Alright, so that's our new Spirit. We gotta rebuild the Phantom. Probably keep the deployable ramparts on here, because the fleets are going to be limited in speed by the medium-sized ships anyway. There's no sense in mounting a second engine. What does my best non-strategic bullet weapon look like? 68? So I'm kind of thinking it might be a good idea for us to run small ships that don't that don't cost a lot of strategics to run, or like just titanium and Hyperium, which we have a lot of. We could run boarding pods out of these too, huh? Maybe this is our strategy for a little while. Just like really commit to this thing. And then we have way more defensive slots here. So this high eye plating is actually worse than our default plating, but it does also give fleet XP for each point of damage absorbed by it, which is pretty cool. I think that's such a small amount of XP that it doesn't really matter. We'll do this. So this thing costs 5 Hyperium and 1, or 5 Titanium and 1 Hyperium. I think that's very sustainable. Now, let's make some ciphers. Hold on. Okay, so I want to run some of these things, fleet accelerators. We don't need to run a ton of these ships, but basically there's just a couple. We want to put a couple of these into each fleet to speed it up. So this gives the fleet 4 extra movement points. So actually, this way we only need to run 1 of these in each fleet. And I want it to not die. And then also boarding pods, or... I definitely don't want to put any more antimatter into the design. It's already going to be a little bit tough to sustain the build of these. But since we're not building a lot of them, I feel a lot more comfortable using the good modules. Alright, and finally the Spectre. So we have a couple different designs of bombers and fighters now. These plasma bombers do less damage than the other ones, but they have more health. And they do a different type of damage than we're doing with all of our other ships. As our ships switch to being projectile-based, having large sources of energy damage, I think that's pretty reasonable. Now, all of these are also weapon module slots, so we could swap them to boarding pods. Can you run boarding pods in a large mount? No, okay. The crew killed per hit on the advanced positron torpedoes is considerable. So we could design these ships to be used at long range, and then we can do the scrap to science battle tactic that has the 2 close flotillas and the 1 long flotilla, and we can just have 1 of these in each fleet being the long range thing. Yeah, I'm actually pretty cool with this design. Alright, so we need to make some ciphers to integrate into our fleets. We'll worry about that as we finish building stuff over here. We don't have anything on infinite construction anymore, so... Alright, hopefully we can catch these pirates, and hopefully the quest will conclude shortly afterward. I mean, all the pirate fleets that are far away from us, obviously, we have very little control over. Alright, Horatio has arrived. Let's put him away real fast. We don't need to watch this happen. He has nowhere to run, so one assumes that he will stay and fight. Oh, we just learned about Jadonics.
The Empire has a proposal.
Wow.
Something to consider while this...
Extremely no. Get out of here with that.
Will not.
Okay, maybe we are going to be able to help out the poor Vodyani a little bit. So I think Horatio is not officially out of the game until his fleets are removed, because in theory, right, he could find a weak system and invade it and take it back over. Alright, you are the hero of Lasath. Yeah, you kind of maxed out. You don't have any more useful skills. Oh, wow. Actually, stop at Eridanus. Apparently there's a ton of stuff worth exploring out here. Right. South has discovered a new thing. Let me see here. What do we really have? We really have 3 battle groups right now. So Remor has 634 industry. LaSouth has more. Alright, so we'll queue up the ciphers. The ciphers themselves are pretty fast. Because obviously their fleet movement bonus applies to themselves. So they should get out here pretty quickly. And once our fleets are much more maneuverable, we should have an easy time threatening Red. I don't know how the battles are going to go exactly. It doesn't look like his ships are too advanced, but we have no idea what we're talking about in terms of quantity. It could be that each of these systems is just like bristling with shipyards. This pirate fleet shows up and probably will attack us, but let's just make sure nothing crazy happens here.
The Empire will not.
Okay, yeah, so these systems here all have to come under control of our alliance because we are losing money constantly. Okay, it looks like Gia just got bought. I'm assuming that was a buyout. I guess that probably was an invasion, actually, because, yeah, they're down to 0% defense and 1 population. Yeah, we need to secure the trade route here. So I think that'll be the first focus of our military campaign over here. The fleet on Yedix can definitely come back home. I wonder if it's faster for them to just wait here for the cipher to get to them. It probably is, actually. Yeah, we'll have the cipher come out here and then escort them out. Yeah, we'll just do the same thing over here. Oh wait, we have a minor faction shuttle from somewhere. Okay, and then the question is, how many more ships do we want to build? Also, what are we looking at in terms of retrofit costs? High. We're looking at high retrofit costs. Actually, it looks like we do need to turn some of our high population systems, or high output systems, back toward the business of producing awesome manpower robots. So why don't we do that for a little while? Our new ship designs are going to require considerable amounts of manpower because each of those boarding pod modules has a manpower cost. Our remnant population boost has ended. How high did we get them? We got them to 9. Yeah, I want them to hit 10. Obviously, we need more industrialists in the Empire, but also then they'll be double industrialist. So 9 of those, huh? We can probably do that. We can probably hook that up. Oh yeah, this is very doable. Think of how good our trade income will be once we actually have access to the trade output of our partners. Let's just keep boosting those guys and keep trying to give them room to grow. Pixis is going to have a fair amount of population space, so actually, do we have... Let's send 2 people to Pixis from here. So that'll give this system room to grow more Remnant, and then also we can hopefully push real hard for Remnant on Pixis and overwhelm the Horatio population there. Cooperative quest. Ensure the population from minor civilizations maxes out. You know, we actually will probably get pretty good placement on that. We are growing minor population at quite a rate. Actually, how are we doing on Epistus? We are probably going to get to see this law at least, which is cool. I've never seen it. Like I mentioned, somebody said to me that it's not a good law and it's not really worth putting effort into getting, but we're going to get it sort of accidentally, like without putting effort into it, so... Oh hey! Voidstone! I remember when we were thinking about possibly using Voidstone as a population booster back when back when I thought that we might have a little bit more trouble growing our Epistis population than we ended up having. Alright, so we picked this up now. You know, I'm wondering, it might be worth it to just push really hard for more science. Oh, this tech has some new singularity types. A RIP singularity. Fleets can go back to where they came from when arriving in the singularity. Players can replay space and ground battles, and plus 25% science on Empire. Bonuses from the construction at the top of the queue are applied while it is being constructed. The fold singularity lets you benefit from your buildings before you build them. Movement points are automatically refilled for arriving fleets, and heroes are not affected by assignment lock. You know what? Let's grab tachyon physics. I'm not really sure what the best application of these is in general, but I see some uses for them, certainly. Players who've played a lot of Riftborn probably have all kinds of strategies built up around getting to that tech, considerably earlier than turn 100, and then using those to do cool things. I think we're about to have an election here, so I'm going to throw our official support behind the Industrialist Party once again. It looks like we're going to end up Industrialist, Ecologist, Militarist, or at least so the polling always seems to indicate. We no longer have access to cheat actions because of our democracy government. Sounds awfully nice. Wouldn't mind living in one of those. Okay, it looks like it's actually going to go. Ecologist over Industrialist, though, which is a shame. We have a very diverse population. So we've unlocked Power to the People, plus 2 science per population types on systems. You know, honestly, this is pretty good. That said, if you're thinking about laws that boost science, that does seem difficult to justify over, like, cram exam or the one that trades dust for science. So our government's very law-focused now, but, like, brains over bucks is going to be way better than Power to the People in most situations. You're going to have a hard time getting 10 population types in most of your systems. I mean, I get this has 20% dust reduction on it, but it's hard for me to imagine that that's not going to be a huge cost to most people. Okay, we've successfully removed Horatio from the game. Hooray for us. You know, all he had to do... Ooh, we have a new... Okay, so these are not actually good in system developments, but the deposit has some pretty nice benefits for the planet that it's on. Yeah, all he had to do was not try to box us in, you know? He aggressively forward settled us, and this is the price he pays. Hardship ready, sadly, is a pretty bad law. But we weren't making use of that pacifist law either. Alright, apparently we're going to have to stick to fabrication mode for a little while. We also need some system to generate us a new singularity. And we can experiment with these new singularity types in a couple of turns here once we actually have the tech. For now, we're sticking to the good old-fashioned compression singularities. So Arcop looks like it's in quite a bit of danger. Honestly, our allies may secure the trade route area for us, and then we could just kind of carve our way directly in toward the capital. Those are some heavily populated planets, though. And remember, Craver planets suck, so they've all been mined out. Oh, hey, we found Purple Capital. Or purple. This is not purple. We found the Pink Capital. Well, okay. It's a little bit of a bummer when you explore a curiosity on someone else's system and all you do is unlock a resource for them, but I figure it was worth hoping that we would get some treasure instead. How's this going? Alright, we're on the way. Ooh. Lumeris are purchasing the help of missionaries. I mean, that's in character, certainly. Alright, come on, ruins. Fingers crossed. What do we got? We got 100 science. Why, that's a whole 30th of a turn of science output for us. Lucky me. Alright, you know, we should probably be pouring dust into our trade companies here. Oh yeah, especially since we have one that's pretty underdeveloped. Okay, even more convoys, even more trade goods. Hopefully that will be enough to make us some good money here. I wish there were a way to tell the traders to just use the free move. Right? Like, it shouldn't be a problem that this area of space is unfriendly to us, because we could run trade companies, or we could run trade convoys like straight from Lissath to Deneb or something. Alright. There we go. We doubled this fleet's movement speed. I probably want to... I don't care. Do I want to go with no small ships in this fleet? Yeah, maybe. This is probably fine. So yeah, the manpower cost of all the boarding pods that we're going to attempt to use is really high. For now, it looks to me like we should maybe come over here and contribute a little bit with our new, much faster fleet. Alright, you're going to keep waiting for your escort to arrive. Yeah, we're discovering all kinds of stuff over there. Okay, the anti-hero with 1,000 faces quest does award an energy weapon that does quite a bit of crew damage. Unfortunately, it's built out of antimatter. It's going to make it difficult for us to benefit from it, even if I did want to put in all the effort. Okay, so who do we not know the capital of? We don't know where the Vaulter capital is. Apparently, this is going all right. Yeah, we don't know where the Vaulter capital is, and we don't know where the United Empire capital is, I think. Once we know the locations of the capitals, we can make a much better guess on how difficult it would be to actually achieve the supremacy victory. But, I mean, we're on our way. Our ships being so much faster is definitely going to help. It probably does not make sense to use this system for building singularities. We can do that somewhere that's a little bit less developed. Yeah, like here. It's a very low cost to our empire to build this singularity here. And then we should probably pick up a little bit more population space, although we really, yeah, man, we barely have access to any. We also need to do this. Man, that system is weak. Very, very weak. Well, this will be a lot better once we actually have some planets. This is similarly going to be better eventually. Yeah, let's pick up this planet. We get the approval from the 1 point of population that gets to live in the sterile space. And then Xeno-industrial infrastructure will be a little bit better, because not only do we have multiple planets, but one of them's temperate. Okay, that'll help a little bit. That system's probably always going to be a little bit weak, unfortunately. So it looks like we must have better curiosity evaluation powers than the Sophons do, or I assume they would have hit all these with their system development menus. So, that's interesting. You usually think of Sophons as people who really focus on science. Alright, where are we running stuff here? We probably want to keep Novaris pumping. We probably want to help build up Pixis a little bit, I guess. Or actually, the new systems could really use a little bit of a boost. We don't have enough dust to build the next curiosity, the next singularity. Man. Words, you know? Okay, sure. Extra vision range for your fleet. That sounds okay. I'm not sure if that's even an upgrade, honestly. I think we might have better beams than that. Ooh. Dust water. Now that's interesting. A pretty powerful deposit and a pretty powerful luxury boost. Alright, we're coming, and we're actually moving at like a reasonable speed now. Oh, without any small ships, the fleet speed is actually 9 instead of 8. Small ships are holding us back. Wait, where did the fleet from Cypher go? Or from Vega? I thought... Didn't I have that fleet just chilling out there? Did I give them orders accidentally? I probably did. I probably clicked on something while I was trying to move the camera around or something like that. Right, because it was the fleet from Novaris that I sent over to Gia. The fleet from Yetix is still coming home. Yeah, where did the fleet that was on Vega go? One of my large fleets is reported as being on Nis. Wait, that? Oh. Oh, That's definitely a misclick on my part. Not my intent. Alright, well, just meet them over here, I guess. You know, it happens. I do that. There's plenty of video evidence of that. Why don't we sell a small amount of something? Just that we can start building the singularity this turn. Alright, you're just chilling out. I do need to install better probe modules on my exploration ships, probably. Okay, Novaris is all specialized. We have this weird population thing happening here. Oh, you know what? This would be good to do. We actually have okay food output here, so that'll be helpful. And then I'm gonna build a couple of new ships here. Be a little bit cheaper than than trying to do a retrofit. Oh, you guys are going to need a cipher. Obviously, that's a very important part of the fleet. I'm not sure what kind of weird standoff is happening over here, but we're gonna show up and break it down. So next turn, we're gonna show up and so for real, we're gonna help somebody. It'll be good for us to contribute a little bit. I thought I was seeing the edge of an influence circle here, but I don't think so. Well, we know there's something over here. We can see more influence circles this way. So let's just fire off a couple of probes that way, and then we'll plan to move in the opposite direction. See if we can't discover some more homeworlds. They're still having trouble with pirates out in this part of the galaxy. It seems like the AI just don't really care about pirates. Alright, Othero. The downside of Ice 10 is not really very significant. we've got a couple of decent sterile worlds here that we want to inhabit. We should definitely run some remnants over here. A lot of space to grow over here. So let's see here. Galter's not going to see any growth for a little while because that's just like the way this place is. It's pretty low food. But where do we have significant remnant populations? Well, significant is maybe strong. We can send a couple of points of population from a couple of places probably. Here we have 3, so yeah, let's make a little bit of room. Send 2 units over. Okay, so hopefully we can get a couple more births on these established systems, as well as making it possible for the remnant to breed and fill up a Thero. We have one more spot where we need to be doing stuff. Okay, so the Rip Singularity costs antimatter, and the Fold costs the other thing. We have enough luxury resources for another level 3 system upgrade, so who's not happy? Galter's not really that happy. Pixis isn't really that happy. Let's sort these by approval. What is the highest population but lowest approval system we have available? Wasat? Yeah, Wasat's always going to kind of be a garbage system, though. Here, we'll do a level 2 and then a level 3 here after we pick up the planets. I think Athero's going to develop into something real. We're gonna be able to make good use of that. So we have enough dust to run the compression singularity. I should probably like put it at the top of the queue. That would probably be smart. And we have another hero available. Unfortunately, we're attracting a lot of militarists right now on account of all of the shipbuilding and the war making. So Horatio have food and approval and influence and food. You know, +2 industry per citizen where you're ecstatic is actually pretty good. And plus 33% deposit value on the luxury resource deposits is also, that's a pretty neat one. Some of those luxury deposits are really powerful. Like you saw the dust water and things of that tier are often like 6 points of resources per citizen. That said, I don't know that I love this guy. The other 2 are Guardians, though. I suppose we could maybe use another Guardian. Isn't this exactly the hero we already have? Huh. Maybe one of them is an imposter. Or maybe maybe the new guy's from the space pocket? There's an alternate dimension in there. You know, if you look through the crack in the door. So yeah, maybe we just want to hire another copy of this guy because he's pretty good at his job. He's going to end up with red zone overkill. Plus 80% shield penetration on his fleet is the, like... Yeah, alright. Second copy of Cubed. Sounds good to me. He comes in at level 6, that's not bad. So we will grab fleet health and hull penetration. Improved refill rate. Yeah. Okay, where is a fleet of a decent size that's actually at one of our systems? Because obviously we can't apply him until they get home. So we'll apply him to this fleet in a second here. Okay, I don't know if the Lumeris are going to get mad at us about this, but if they wanted it, they had plenty of opportunities to take it. Ooh, Proto-Orchid. We'll actually be able to get our own Proto-Orchid. See, doesn't this place look lovely? We love a good sterile world. Alright, so let's make that happen. Obviously, it's really, really easy to inhabit high industry planets for us. You're just waiting on your probes, and you are waiting on your fleet to arrive. New guy is unassigned on purpose. This is bad, though. We should probably be doing research. So, I guess, do I want to cap out science? Get Genius of the Endless and maybe, like, consider moving on a science victory if that is an option that becomes available to us? Well, we do have access to better engines here. Yeah, better engines. I do like that. Cosmetic genetics. That's a system improvement that's worth going after. We have a lot of sterile worlds. We don't really need large food boosts anymore. Most of our systems are growing quickly enough that we can just offload population to slower systems. Yeah, alright. I think cosmetic genetics is a pretty big deal. And that'll let us really get our science on. I don't think we need too many more specific military upgrades. I think our ships are powerful enough for the moment. Here on Oshi... Okay, we are generating another point of remnant population, which is great. You know, the resources are coming in a lot faster now, right? Don't we have a lot more... Yeah, we're getting 8 transvine per turn. We can afford to actually just be really generous with modernization. We can get everything to level 3 now. That would probably be fine. Alright, so we do need to apply this hero before the end of the video because I will forget otherwise. No chance really that I won't. Okay, so what all is here? We have a couple of phantoms. We have this shuttle. We can take these guys on. This fleet has its cipher already. Just snap our new hero in. And then we can... Oh, sorry, this is because I only have these 2 little ships selected. We cannot, in fact, modernize this whole fleet. It's very expensive. And I don't think it's worth the resources to just modernize the Phantoms. Those are definitely, of all of our potential ships, the least consequential. So I think with this fleet, my goal is going to be harassing this part of Red's Empire. I don't know why you're letting these guys just chill here, but let's do something about this. We are at war, aren't we? That didn't change, right? Yeah, okay. It's weird how cozy those Craver ships were allowed to be over here. Well, let's go harass Leo. Let's see what they do about it. So we're discovering all kinds of fascinating stuff over here. And hey, look at that. Much, much better energy bombers that unfortunately cost antimatter, which it turns out is the most valuable thing in the entire universe. Alright, well that's coming along. We will indeed turn our outpost into a colony, quite soon in fact. We've discovered even more Eden incense. Turns out there's a lot of it out there. Okay. Man, I hope the Sophons appreciate what we're doing here. So, our colony on Lechem could get bought out by the Lumeris at pretty much any moment. I assume they have that technology. We'll see what they do. Maybe they won't make a big deal of it. We can hope. Alright, are we pretty good for this turn? I think the end of this turn here is also the end of the video. I'm just trying to make sure that we don't have any other stuff going on that desperately needs tending to. And we can figure out whether we want to change up our laws or anything else next video. I think that's going to be it for us for today. So we're expanding, we're preparing to make war. We're certainly better at making war now than we were at the beginning of the video. And the ship speed definitely contributes to that. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time. We put Horatio away. Now we're going to do the same thing to the Cravers. And we'll see you then.